place or any place else that she was. She always seemed to have a smile on her face. I don't remember her frowning, except maybe one time when Brother Joe was sitting between her and Sister Geneva Richards. Brother Bass made the comment, said, "A rose between two thorns." I think she may have frowned a little bit at that time. She was a precious lady and a steadfast companion to Brother Joe, and I know that she was a wonderful mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, and we will truly miss her very much. I came across a poem that I'd like to read that goes very well with her life. It's by Christopher Warner. God saw that she was getting tired, and a cure was not meant to be. So he put his arms around her and whispered, "Come with me." With tearful eyes, we watched her suffer and watched her fade away. Although we loved her dearly, we could not make her stay. A golden heart stopped beating, and a warm, loving heart to rest. God broke our hearts to prove to us that he only takes the best.
Amen.
I believe some of the others had something they wanted to comment on this time.
Yes, I'm just going to echo what Brother Gary said about Mom loving her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And I heard a man say one time, "Your grandchildren are God's reward to you for not killing your children." And I think all of us have found that now. We've experienced that and found that to be true. They are truly a blessing, and Mom felt that as well. So I wanted to share something with you that I feel like Mom would want to say to her grandchildren today. They meant so very much to her. She did a book for me. It was a journal of Mother's Reflection. I gave it to her for Mother's Day. And I'm hoping to get that book published for her grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren too. And it's just about her life and growing up, but a lot of questions about life. And this one said, "What advice about life do you want others to remember?" So these are Mom's words to you about her advice about life. "I would want them to start early in life to seek God's will. Read the Bible and follow God's rules. Live a life that pleases Him and don't listen to the lies that Satan feeds you and that the world leads you to believe. Look for friends who want to do the right thing. And if you find yourself in the wrong place, get out before you make a mistake you'll be sorry for later." And I'm pretty sure I've heard her say those words. "Realize God created you for a purpose, to have fellowship with Him. Serve Him, love Him, and tell others about Him. We only have a short time to do that, but an eternity to be with Him." And she's getting to enjoy that eternity now. And she also wrote a poem that is called "The Best That You Can Be." And I'll leave this poem with you too. "You may not climb to heights of fame or be honored with a great big name. But it matters not what the world may see when you've been the best that you can be. Be the best that you can be, not for the world to see. When you've given your all to God's perfect call, you've been the best that you can be. When God's special plan is best of all, and you've strived for perfection, whatever your call, then most contented you will be. You will see you've been the best that you can be. Be the best that you can be, not for the world to see. When you've given your all to God's perfect call, then you've been the best that you can be."
This is a poem about the pastor's wife. My mother it just really tells how she was. She always went, Daddy was the center of her life, and he was the one who got all the glory and praise. Let me tell you something. She did a whole lot of work behind the scenes, and I think y'all knew that. Many's the time she cooked meals, she took stuff to people who were sick, she hauled people all over the countryside who needed a ride. So, she was doing her part too, and this pretty much explains it. It says, God gave the pastor's wife to do the work too. She cares for the pastor and those in the pew. Her loving personality keeps the pastor bright, and I just want to stop and say, she was Daddy's biggest fan, wasn't she? I mean, even Billy Graham didn't come up next to her. So I know she encouraged me. And her smile fills the flock with life. When a job needs done, she's first to volunteer, and she made sure we were too. Okay? And like a ray of sunshine, she gives comfort and cheer. She faithfully serves, counsels, and listens, and sees that her home and church always glistens. Now, everybody knows Meemaw was very good at training us how to keep our house clean. If we said we're bored, or we're mad, or we're sad, or whatever, she said, like, well, here, I'll give you something to do. Okay? And she always had something, okay? Seldom is she given the proper gratitude for her shining Christian attitude. And I know she probably didn't get the praises here, but I'm sure she's getting them where she is right now. Okay, and this comes from Proverbs 31. It says, give her the reward she has earned, and let her works bring her praise as the city gate. So she's getting it now. Okay, all right.
Thank you, Julie.
I wrote mine down so I wouldn't ramble. We have gathered here today to pay tribute to our mama, our Meemaw, Aunt Nancy, and Aunt Gee. Y'all know that was her nickname, Aunt Gee. What a legacy she leaves behind. These past few years, Mom and I have had some very special moments, talking, laughing, singing, and remembering. Oh, the remembering. Even though her mind failed her, she could remember so much of her past life. Her children, her grandchildren, where and how she grew up, meeting Dad, their courtship, marriage, and early life, building their home on their land and their ministry together. Mom loved her family so very much. Do you grandkids know how much she loved you? She loved you so much that she prayed for you. She kept journals, and she would pray for one or two of you each day. She knew what you were doing. She knew your struggles, your sicknesses, and most of all, she prayed for your salvation. If you really want to know how much you love someone, pray for them. That was her belief. She also thought you were the best looking and smartest kids around. That she had a little moment of pride there. I know that's a sin. The most fun we had was singing gospel songs together. Even though her memory was fading, she could remember all the verses to those songs and loved praising God. Her favorite song was Great Is Thy Faithfulness. Do you know why that was her favorite song? Because she lived those words and she believed them. She liked the idea that God doesn't change and his compassions fail not. She liked the idea that his dear presence was there to cheer her and to guide her, and that he gave her strength for today and hope for tomorrow. Also, she really, really believed that all I have needed, thy hand hath provided. And do you know, I can tell you some stories that would raise goosebumps on your arm. He really did provide for her needs. She would say to me, don't worry about me, I am just fine. And we will miss her. And now I would like to sing her favorite song, all of us together. Great is thy faithfulness. Would you like to stand, please? Great is thy faithfulness.
Thou You may be wondering why Pastor has a nice flowery Bible. It's not every day that when you get the opportunity to preach a sermon, you get to preach it from the person's Bibles. And there's about 50 or 60 sermons written in each one of these. So I'm just going to take them home with me. They're fantastic. I'll tell you what. If you would, bow your heads and join me in a word of prayer, please. Father God, Lord, we just want to thank you, Jesus, for who you are, for the kindness that you show us, for the grace of your cross, for the power of your resurrection. Father, I thank you that for this sweet family, for the time that you allow us to celebrate this sweet lady, for the blessing she's been to so many of us. And Father, I just thank you that she's reaping her reward today. Amen. Father, I pray that now that you would provide her family comfort, help them in their time of need, dear Lord. So Father, please guide my words that it would be for your honor and for your glory. For it's in the strong name of Jesus, I pray these things. Amen. Amen. We're gathered here today to celebrate the life and honor the memory of Miss Nancy Bass. She was a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, a pastor's wife, a neighbor, a friend, a faithful servant of Jesus Christ, and a very sweet and precious lady. And like all of you, Miss Nancy she's special to me. And I just want to say it's an honor for me to be a part of this. It's a tremendous honor. You see, Joe was my pastor for 2015 and 20 years. I really can't remember how long it was, to be honest with you. And Miss Nancy was right there next to him by his side every step of the way, ministering to me. And as a pastor now myself, I can tell you that a pastor's wife is his right arm. Amen. His ministry is her ministry. They're a team. And as said earlier, the pastor's he's the visible one. He's the one out front being seen and being heard. But the pastor's wife is usually the hands and feet of Jesus. She's the one that so often does so much of the ministry. Often doing the things that the pastor wants to do and needs to do, but he simply lacks time to do. She's helping to visit folks and call them to check on them, taking food to them, to both the sick and to the needy. She teaches Sunday school and helps with music and singing and playing the piano. Whatever needs to be done, wherever there's a need to be filled, the pastor's wife is there serving. That is Miss Nancy. Whatever needed to be done, she set out to do it without groaning, without complaining, and with a joyful heart. She looked for ways to serve other people. Whether it was her family, her friends, her neighbors, or her church, she was glad to serve them. And I had to ask myself, and I want to ask you, how often did she just stop what she was doing to give you her full attention? To make you feel like you're the only person in the world. Just to let you know that she cared for them. She loved people. And she loved to help people, and it showed. Oftentimes, people might ask you, how you doing? And when they ask you that, sometimes it seems like they really don't much care. It's more like an impersonal greeting, but not Miss Nancy.